Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Doki Literature Club. I know it's been a little while since I played this, but you know, things kind of happen. I'm pretty sure this is the next day. It's been actually a little bit since I played this as well. Let's go read Natsuki's poem. I'm actually going to play a little bit more than just one day of this, and I'm not going to read their voices anymore because it really does kill my throat unless it's like important. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to read them. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one, but I can't really say it's any better either. Huh? Who? What? Well, anything that isn't a train wreck, I'll take a win. I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Maybe that was a compliment. Glad I'll see everyone recognize my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sioria's poem from yesterday. You think so? Yeah, well, I guess you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. But you never really struck me as her type. Siori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know, but honestly, how can someone so, fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging around the dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way. If it weren't for me, she'd probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we each take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Again, I will let you guys read the poems because it is long and I can honestly read things better in my head, but I have already read these, so I will let you guys read it. And let's see, it goes down to here. If you guys honestly need to read it, you guys can pause it. I'm gonna get going onto it. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. Of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies, and it helps me realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course. It's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or a guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid of. Afraid if people find out, they make fun of you and think less of you. But that makes people stupid. Who cares that someone likes you? As long as they're not hurting anyone, it makes them happy. I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. I'm sure a lot of people can too. It's not that it's what I do best after all. I don't like writing unless there is a good message to take away from it. Like, conveying emotions is important. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm gonna write a good one for tomorrow, too. So look forward to it. Okay? Normally, their poems are pretty good. I suck at writing poems, so I wouldn't know. Let's move on to Yuri's. Save Monica's last. Let's see what you've written for today. Well, done. Be a bystander. Your skills are already improving. Really? Thanks, Yuri. Coming from you, that means a lot. It's nothing. It's just happy to help inspire fellow writers. I know you're new to this, so don't worry so much if it seems like you can't get your poem to feel perfect. You don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Perhaps, or metaphors can go a long way. Don't feel like you need to work your brain like turning a bunch of gears. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings. Write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly endure your readers and seeing your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. I see. That's a certainly interesting technique. Thanks for sharing. I have, an example for that I'd like to read to you. Of course. Is this the poem you write for today? And Timely hands her poem to you. I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't bring to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Use the poem as a canvas and express vivid imagery and convey emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it to face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I want to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sorts of things I usually forced to keep to myself. So, I sometimes enjoy writing about them. That's funny. Didn't I seriously write something about that? About someone being ridiculed or for a strange interest? She did? Yeah. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seems like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry, I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. After all, I haven't learned to embrace my own weirdness. I would probably hate myself. Might be ranting a little bit. But I'm glad that you're a good listener. And to Monica's. Hi again. How's writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. I want to share what you write for today. Sure. Here you go. I gave my poem to Monica. She reads it. Alright. That's pretty good. See, I guess my poems are getting better. It makes me think of Siori. That was the purpose. I remember writing that one in mind of getting Siori's character to bobble. So it should sound like Siori's. Like the other way that you wrote. You two are like a dynamic duo. That's kind of exaggerating it. Probably. But you do spend a lot of time with her even in the club, don't you? Then again, I don't blame you for being a little shy. I'm not shy, it's just... I'm just teasing. You know, it takes a bit of time to make friends with everybody. But Yuri and Atsuka are super interesting people. So don't be afraid to give them their share of time. And you can talk to me every now and then, too. I'm not, like, unapproachable or anything, am I? No, it's nothing like that. It's just still getting used to being here, that's all. Yeah? I'm sorry for if I was putting pressure on you or something. I really didn't mean it like that. No, don't worry. I get what you're saying. Well, alright. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? Like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Red, green, blue, the endless, meaningless noise. The noise won't stop. Violent. Yikes. Load me. It's even more abstract than your last one. It's just the way I write. Sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just kind of things I never really seen before, I guess. Kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of the poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short make it feel like you're trying to speak over the noise. I see. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. The poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a canvas with a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. This is also a little bit of foreshadowing, just letting you guys know. You never know when you might change your mind. Or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, everyone. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned for today if everyone could come sit in front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do you really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we put together anything good in just a few days. Well, just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I'm not going to give them voices anymore because doing all their different voices is actually hard on my throat. And I don't want to lose my voice. I don't really do with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Siori has been working on posters and I have designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're going to have a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sori's putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sori, who's been coloring posters, holds it up in front of us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't even already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining Yuri shaking her head in fear. Guys. No, Siori. I understand where they're coming from. I remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. I'm so sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we are able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings. Being intimate with yourself. That sounds wrong. Finding new horizons and having fun. That's right. And this is the reason we are all in the club today. Don't you want to share this about inspire them to find the same feeling that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Suki and Yuri remain silent. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get over it with it. Alright. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glanced around and everyone else's expected faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone! You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move into the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of your own. You're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No, wait! Monica! This is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect it to be in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook the specific poem she has in mind for herself. Then she stands behind the podium. The title of the poem is Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. That was not the word, I don't think. It's fine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face and I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you so very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Yuri? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutched the sheet of paper between her hands and stands up, keeping her head down, and walks quietly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at all of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happened when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transformed into sharp syllables of fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that I am not going to try to read that word, with perfect timing. It must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back into reality, glancing around her as if she bewildered herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward. We give Yuri a recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applauded, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushed back to her seat. Yuri, that was so good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. I guess I'm next then. Yuri hops out of the chair and cheerfully walks up to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem and it'll come out the best way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow I feel like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through a knew through a through and through. Oh, wow. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it! Good job, Sayori. Even Kaylin liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? Came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely, but it might be that other poem won't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery won't work as well. They might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what that means. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. The next time I'm going to make you pick the poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Who's next? Natsuki? I don't make me go before Kaylin. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyways. Might as well let Kaylin lower everyone's standards a little bit before I have to do it. Natsuki, it's fine. I might as well go get it over with. But it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I just have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive an applause anyways. Sorry, I'm not really good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your ability and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. Is that something to grow over time, though? Maybe. Alright then. Let's just leave you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem it's called, why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath once she starts reciting the poem. Her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of the other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people, but when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think I would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming, though. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea for what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets and let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine, too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, and let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like to continue that. And as for the festival, we'll finish planning for tomorrow, and we'll have the weekend prepared. Monday's the big day. I can't wait. I can't do this. I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club, and impressing Monica. I'll have to do my best.
This has become more.
Ready to go, Siori? Yep. Look at you two are always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Kaylin, you don't have to say it. Whatever, let's go already. I walk home with Siori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have really changed. But today, Siori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Siori. Sorry, I'm spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to. Siori fumbles on her words. So let's just say that one day where Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I would walk home with Siori. Siori? I forgot to save. You know what? We're not going back. Decisions are final. That's that. I make a decision, I'm not going to save before it. That is final. I am not going to be skeptical. I'm going to make my first choice, and that is it. You really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez. I rarely see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly. You think about me so much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted to, so... Siri, I've already made up my mind. I can't really figure out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, that's the point of speculating something that's never going to happen. That conversation trails off. It's kind of weird thinking of Soria to care so much about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time. Okay. Let's do one for... Let's just kind of have my own style. Very mixed. Aw, man. I'm the last one here again. Don't worry. I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. The whole day of school we'll get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Siori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty special thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because you're right. It's right in your name. Mon Inca. That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Oh, never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now. So in that, this is technically Japanese. So on screen, I will have like what she means by that in translation, because originally it makes a little bit more sense for it to be Japanese, and like I'll have the Japanese kind of, how do you say it? Or yeah, Japanese. I'll remember to do that, hopefully. Fine, fine. Your reactions aren't as funny as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? What is Sayori anyways? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at the desk in the corner room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I have my hand in front of her face. Ah! You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sierra shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright, if you say so. I wearily glance at Sierra before turning back towards everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sierra recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. What's up? Hey, this might seem kind of strange, but have you noticed anything up with Siri recently? Anything up with her? In that way... In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but it seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room to her, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her chest. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Kaylin. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that's bothered her, but this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything. So I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know. Maybe I'll try to talk into her myself. Are you sure about that? Seems like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Kaylin. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. She's been so much happier ever since you've joined the club. It's like an extra light has turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she had to forget about it, but alright. I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I couldn't hear anything from her. I sigh and sit down by myself. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but it's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of ordinary, but that's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everyone is back to normal. Everyone goes to receive their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she's talked about Sayori with. Yeah, talked about with Sayori. Let's go talk to Sayori. I think I'll get through this day and then I'll end the episode. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri? I didn't write this for anyone specific. Maybe. That's not really what I mean, though. But it's okay. See, if I choose my style, but I do know that if you actually fully intended to write it for her, she would still do the same thing and think it would be for Natsuki or someone. You're making a new friend, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Kaylin. Siori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. It's just a little tired today. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Siori? Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Siori cheerfully walks out of the room, humming to herself. Let's go talk to Monica next. Hi, Monica. Have you thought about what you had to perform at the festival? Well, being in the club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it will turn out great. It would make me happy to see. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take a hold of my poem in my hands. Great job. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. Really metaphorical. It's not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that full of imagery and symbolism? Unlike Siori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write that like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuisance. It's all nuisance. I can take years of practice, which is I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about it. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you, alright? Alright. Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am. A feather. I'm not going to continue reading. I forgot how long her third poem was. You know, I feel like I'm learning and looking for answers for the sort of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it's kind of on my mind, so that what I wrote about, I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical? I don't know. Because if you had all the answers, wouldn't the world start losing its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. This is an actually very accurate tip because I did some writing on a book, and the feedback I got were from people that weren't writing, and they'd always say it was good or it was okay, but no actual feedback like I needed. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. It's very accurate advice, just so you guys know. Let's go to Natsuki now. Oh man, this is seriously a step backwards. I liked your last two way better than this one. I mean, I guess I couldn't be mad at you for trying different things, as long as you're not just trying to impress Yuri or something like that. Gross. Okay, okay. Like you said, I'm aligned to try new things. Why are you so emotionally invested in this poem anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? Uh, Gross. It's not like I care, it's just that one of us in the club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Natsuki's eyebrows connect with my stomach. Oh, maybe I wouldn't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Well, maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, Natsuki holds her poem out to me like nothing even happened. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kinda hard to write anything negative about the beach. So you decided to write about the beach first and then come up with the message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it or whatever. Like, you can really see her doing that too. Make us write about a similar topic, then try to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was a good practice. And to Yuri. Kaylin, this is wonderful. I could feel the emotion that you poured into it. Is this the result of trying what I suggested yesterday? Yeah, I guess so. You did a good job explaining. I really wanted to try giving it more feeling. Yuri visibly swallows. Even her hands appear sweaty. I'm not used to this. Used to what? I don't know. It's fine. Take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. Yeah. Just being appreciated like this, I guess. It probably sounds really stupid. But seeing someone motivated by my writing, it makes me really happy. Are you saying you've never shared your writing before? Really? I don't believe it. I really only write for myself. And besides, people would just laugh at me. Do you really think that? Yuri nods again. Uh, Even your close friends. For some reason, Yuri doesn't respond. Yuri? Yuri smiles sadly. Kaylin, during lunchtime I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot to do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could really say I enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with, or people you just know that would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face, or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. When you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day, you know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type, and they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Kaylin. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you. And it really understood that, and I really understood what I was missing all the time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful, that's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person. I speak too slowly, I second guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things, but every time, you've always treated me just like everyone else. Not like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri, and if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined the club hoping I would make friends, and I would say I'd have at least one success. Wouldn't you? Um, if you put it that way. Yeah, we really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands. But this time, she's smiling as she does it. What do you want to show me? Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Da da da. Again, it's about the beach, just like Natsuki's was. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an innate thing to write about, but I did my best taking a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Natsuki already told me about it. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing style, or through processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she'd want to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request, but, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing this poem, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a sec. Is it just me or did you say something strange just now? Huh? Something did just sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri's isn't immune to it. Stagnation? Stagnating? Air is common, foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. Oh no. I don't think I can end it after this day, and I think I know why. And I think I know what's coming up. Oh, I thought I had more time. In your book, maybe? Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Oh. Seems you're right. Sayori's always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She really wasn't feeling too well, so she went home early. Is that so? Hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No. First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh. The curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything's fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to... Ooh, she just totally avoided me. Need to figure out the next... let's declare what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we need a lot... I need a lot of them. Different flavors. Can you handle that by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And for Yuri, you can, Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too? Jeez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. Ugh, that may be the case. But if I couldn't also be a leader on my own, then I wouldn't have grown as a person. So Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know. So you should make some banners and decorations to help set up the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changed as she stares at her desk and focuses and started nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, it just leaves you, Kalen. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. That's... Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a chance, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyways. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Kaylin may not like to be around if you only make her, out to be a nuisance. So therefore, she may be more suited to assist with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Kaylin to... What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work, and baking isn't. Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Kaylin to decide how she'd like to contribute. Besides, she really hasn't gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know. So I'm sure she's interested in... You literally just said, I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying though, jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Kaylin, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone will look straight at me. Oh no. Okay, let's do this logically. Okay? I'm going to be doing this extremely logically. Monica already has Sayori helping her, and Sayori already has Monica with her. So, these two are automatically out. They both are helping each other. Yuri's making decorations, and Natsuki's a great baker to begin with. Okay. Excuses. Let's see. See, I want to choose Sayori. I really do. But I don't think I'm going to actually... This one I'm going to save on. Return. Let's choose Sayori really quick. I mean, if it's not going to be anyone, I would prefer to help Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors, but Monica said that Sayori was helping her. Jeez, do you really hate us that much? No? Sorry, I didn't mean for this to be so difficult. See? Instantly, Sayori is out. You cannot help your best friend, and I'm not going to help Monica since Sayori is helping Monica, so I have to pick Natsuki or Yuri. Natsuki is a good baker. I don't remember who I chose when I played this on my own, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick Yuri, and with that, maybe after I beat the game, we'll go back and choose like different decisions. But other than that, I'm gonna pick Yuri. I'll probably be the most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki? I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No. I was just saying. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Kaylin? Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things. See, she's an overthinker. She likes to look too much into the detail. Natsuki knows how to bake. She knows how to decide her decisions for the cooking. So, Natsuki doesn't need my help. So I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I would be fine. Okay, okay. See, she even said it. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. So, is that everything we need to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Kaylin? Me? I guess I could say I'm interested in seeing how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No, that's not what I meant at all. Ugh. Yuri anxiously glanced between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Kaylin picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that. So, I get it, I get it. I'm kind of surprised though. Why? Um, well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said anything bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. Then she already has trouble with words. Trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at the time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No, I kinda appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing, but I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah. I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there is nothing more for today, so I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door, and as they chat between each other. I turn around. Sorry, I realize that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I couldn't believe that slipped my mind. I almost said slapped. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best, but yes. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright. In that case, it wouldn't be a problem. I decide not to impress Yuri for a reason. It's not like I should matter much either way, and I'll just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I managed to make myself useful in some way. I'm not really. I'm not normally as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Kaylin. I don't think that we'll make a very productive team, even if you only choose me because you feel bad or something. Wait, you didn't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any reason why you would have chosen me. You're forgetting the reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you were overthinking, right? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. After that exchange, I made my way out the door and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri is going to be coming over my house on Sunday. Even though I would have preferred to do this with Sayori, my anxiety still shoots through the roof. I guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. But who knows what might end up happening when we're outside of school. She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. Why do I feel nervous that Sayori finds out about this? It's not that we feel that way about each other. Besides, like Monica said, this is about the club. I have nothing to worry about. If I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. Oh, okay. I will finish this off. Yeah, I can finish this off. I had to look at the time really fast. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I'm keep telling myself that there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. Okay. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit, but when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we we've even been texting occasionally. She seems extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Yuri since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Besides what Sayori said, and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside while she might need me? I decide to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we are family. The house is quiet. Sayori? Yo. Hi, Kaylin. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. Has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it always has been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and the wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you come over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I ended up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but wait, how did you know that? Yuri had already left by the time we had decided the last meeting, Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course! But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Yuri then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Yuri stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Yuri smiles, shaking her head. That's not good. That's no good, Kaylin. Why can't it just be like it always has been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori. I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Why are you listening to yourself right now? You know something happened. I know something's happening to you. There's no other explanation for me to be like this, for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Kaylin. But you're wrong. Nothing's happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about? You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you, Kaylin? I guess I have no choice at this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy in carrying to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Shiori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me just not to think about her? Why, Shiori? Huh? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It's almost felt like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much I could do, I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet that when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone to be happy together is the best thing for me. And then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and getting closer with everyone else in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. You're right that I didn't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Shiori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes me to help you stop hurting, that's what I'll do. No, Kaylin. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that can be helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a terrible person I am. Tears streaked down Shiori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments, because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Shiori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Kaylin? Shiori, I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Kaylin. Shiori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Shiori's arms remained at her side. She starts sobbing into my ear. No, don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Kaylin, Shiori barely managed to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. Genuinely, Shiori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all so really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm. That's really scary too. Shiori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. It's going to be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like me to spend it how would you like for me to spend it all with you? Um, uh, it's what I want. I promise. I I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Zero wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day with here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for you to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come over and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sciori shook her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand. But I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I'll look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sciori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. It's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Yuri is right. I shouldn't be worried too much, but we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Thank goodness. You're a little early. I'm sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. Should be a common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. You did manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well. Yeah, pretty much. At least, I hope I got everything right. I'm sure it will be fine. I take Yuri to my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. I cleaned it before you came over, so. That's very considerate of you to do. No. It would be really embarrassing for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist while it was in the process of opening the desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap as if making sure she is keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospherical enchantments. Atmospherical enchantments. You know, mood lighting, atmospheric aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. That's something I like about you. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah. No need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I planned to cover the windows in black paper and use candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's the wood thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Is that so? It's one of my favorite contributions to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils and herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection, it's almost like magic. Yuri takes the cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. It's just a moment and a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through the small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is jasmine essential oil. It smells like sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I choose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds even heavier. Don't you think that would be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it right over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I like to do is write a different word on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will these be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon and hang them from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the paper onto the ribbon and create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room, and it may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you'd put it. Yuri's giggle with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed than it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels for sharing something that she enjoys? Here's a marker, Kaylin. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbon. Ah, all right. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon in her desired length. Then she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. The knife is strangely beautiful. Silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etches into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy. Well, embarrassed and she looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, what is it? I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kinda into knives. Ugh. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. Okay, the thing is, I like knives too, so. I don't know what it is. The combinations of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you get about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's really cool looking knives. It's a really cool looking knife. Wow, I can't read. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn around the knife. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow. Kaylin, why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it is all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and covers the wound, gives the wound a closer look. Ah, She stares at it, noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Without warning, she puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. I feel her tongue curl around my finger. Startled, I instinctively pulled my hand back. Oh, please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head and her face burns up. Yuri? That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure, it was a little weird, and it took me by surprise, but I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Ah! Did you just really do that? Now we're even. Yuri just looks at me a little like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. If not for the sweet aroma in Jasmuno, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird. Yuri giggles shyly. Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one, really. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our responsible activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the paper. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Oh, thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups too much, it'll be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use a small plastic bathroom cup rather than a full-size glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeves, pulling it back over her arm. Okay. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets and dropping them into the cups. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for a sunrise, then daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium in the front of the classroom. Oh, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it will be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out on the banner, Yuri and I kneel on the opposite side so we don't get in each other's way. Yuri uses a brush to add a few drops of different colors across the banner, and it serves as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. I'm sorry if it feels too childish. No, I didn't mean it like that at all. It's kind of fun, you know. Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself, for me? I didn't need to go out and do crazy things for fun. In fact, I usually didn't even want to. It's just like when I can spend time with one other person. Even if it's something simple like reading, it doesn't even matter if we don't talk. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I aren't quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime, games, and where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. Think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over to the banner and grabs a unused paintbrush, but I moved at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Ah, sorry. Yuri reels back and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. It's just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Your face. There's a droplet of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel and then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room, kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Ugh. Is something wrong? It's hot. I didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I started to retrace my hand. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait. Huh? Just for a bit longer? It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck and look into her eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize when she reads her books, almost as she's lost in a daze and enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parting lips. What is happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle finger wrap around my wrist, sending a tingle sensation through my arm, and suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than I was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. A moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finish filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's a very pretty neutral color. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with this result. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true. But won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be the best to leave it here and then you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Whew. You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? No, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. So you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we had extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think I would be too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all of her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounds like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Okay. Oh. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out of the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I'm glad it was able to happen. I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then. Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kind of say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted. Because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over and we can go out somewhere. I forgot you don't like going out much. As I stumble on my words, Yuri simply smiles, bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so you're very thoughtful. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. Kind of like that. I kind of like that about you. Can you back up, woman? I am not surprised at the response like that, but I don't even get a chance to as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Siori! Huh? Uh, hi. Siori! Just now, we weren't. It's okay. I just stopped to say hi. Um, well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, I'm already on my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry, but we'll be together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. Siori beams. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Siori waves goodbye after her. Siori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Well, I tried staying in my room, and my imagination was being really mean to me, so I had to come here and see for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Yuri, and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy, and that you've made such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way? I'm supposed to be happy. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true. If it wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have to put up with me being so selfish. Monica was right. I should just. Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori, what I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't the burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But Sayori looks away. I put my hand on her shoulder to reassure her. I'm scared, Kaylin. I'm really scared. What are you scared of? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me, Sayori. It's true, isn't it? I was weak and started to like you so much, too much. I did this to myself. I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I slide my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand into mine. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods. Even if you don't understand all of your own feelings, I know what you need the most right now. And that's what I'm going to give you. I know what's going to happen after this, too. Because I'm going to finish this first round of the game. But I'm going to end it on a good-ish part. Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you are truly the most important person to me. That's why I accept any of your burdens. As long as we continue like this every day, with you by my side, then I know we'll both be happy. Kaylin. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Kaylin, is this really okay? Yeah. I hold Sayori in my arms and I pull her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Kaylin. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a bit. What is it? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. But why? Even now, why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all. It's okay. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters. Okay? I trust you. Shiori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our face date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it always has been. Even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Kaylin. Shiori gazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even I, even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Huh? I don't really understand what Shiori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Shiori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. It feels like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me. That's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah, I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Shiori. I know that I love her and she loves me, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Shiori's feeling as she is. Even though I'm confront her, confirm her, comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more and something different. I know that these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back to the way they are. Is that what Shiori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know. But I want that, but I know that I will give it everything I've got. Shiori is the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. Okay, before I continue and finish this playthrough, my warning before is much starker now than it has ever been. Because I know what's happening, and I know how dark this is gonna get, and how deep and sad it is. Just know there's always help out there if you are ever going through this. So let's continue and finish the first playthrough, and then that will be the end of the episode. Of all days, I expect this to be one where I'd be walking to school with Shiori, but Shiori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house and wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently roll it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over than so I can spend time with Shiori and Yuri at the festival. I know, but knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Kaylin, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each desk in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like, and I submitted it. So that's the one I'm performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Shiori with you. She's overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on the day this important she'd try a little harder. I say that and I suddenly remember what Shiori told me yesterday. I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Kaylin. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You of think of left her hanging this morning, you know? You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monica, you know about that? course I do. I'm the class president, after all. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with her anyone yet. Jeez. You didn't know. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They come out really nice. Yeah, sure. Grab one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Oh, yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Here we go. What is this? Reading the poem and I get a pit in my stomach. Kaylin? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to go get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday the things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and I knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Major, major warning, guys. This is the big part. If suicide or anything dark triggers you or is unsettling to you, click off now. And this is the final warning. This series gets extremely dark after this moment, so your discretion is advised. From this point on, I'm going to have warnings at the beginning of the episodes because this series does get extremely dark after this point. Keep that in mind if you continue watching and continue listening or anything. This series gets extremely dark really fast. So if you struggle with depression or anything on those lines, proceed at your own caution. Sayori, she really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really don't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it really kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Sayori. I told you guys a warning. And this is why. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? Has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Shiori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal until a few days ago. That's why I couldn't believe what my eyes were showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit, but yesterday I told Shiori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I couldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Shiori needed at all. She even told me how painful it was for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is all my fault. My swarming thoughts kept telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it always had been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club, screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do bring her back. This isn't some game where I could reset and try everything different. I had only one chance and I hadn't carefully thought. And I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed me for me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. And that, guys, is the end of the first part. As you can tell, Shiori is now blocked out. Play game is now all funky. But with that, we will continue this in the next episode. Yeah. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys struggle with anything on the lines of depression, there is always help. There really is. That's coming from the bottom of my heart. But that'll be all for this episode, this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And always remember, there is always someone out there. If you are truly struggling, even reach out to me. I am here to help as well. Have a great rest of your